Hello and welcome to Navigating Federal Employment, Module 1, an Introduction to Federal Employment. My name is Veronica Perez and I am your Personal and Professional Development Program Advisor. This course is brought to you by the Personal and Professional Development Program and the Career Resource Management Center. Throughout this course, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me or your current instructor during office hours. There is a lot of information to cover, so the instructor will provide you with guidance and you will be able to go through the material at a manageable pace. Within your assignments this week, there are a few discussion questions that I want you to think about. This module is designed to get you familiar with the key terms and information that you're going to need for building your resume and completing your USA Jobs profile. By the end of this module, you will be able to perform an analysis of core competencies and identify competencies from the Office of Personnel Management competency list that are similar to your own. You're going to perform a Military Occupational Codes crosswalk for federal employment by utilizing the Mil2Fed Jobs site and find employment on USA Jobs similar to your own MOS or NEC. You're going to generate an accomplishment statement to include in your federal resume, and you will learn different hiring paths and identify which pathway will you meet qualifications for. One of the things that you will need to determine if you qualify to apply for a position is to review the section on who may apply. You will need to determine if the vacancy is open to all sources, status applicants, or reinstatement eligibles. Each means something different, yet most jobs you will find posted are for status applicants. As a veteran, you qualify for status applications. Later on in this course, you will learn where in your profile this is determined. For now, just familiarize yourself with the fact that there are different types of applicants. In addition to this, you will need to familiarize yourself with the jobs that will be utilizing similar skills or skill sets in your current MOS or NEC. So this is why the following tool is designed to assist you with performing a Military Occupational Codes crosswalk for a federal position. This tool is the Mil2Fed Jobs site. In this module, you will find a link to a separate video showing you how to utilize this Mil2Fed Jobs site. You will be able to see what federal positions are available that require similar experience and skills to your MOS or NEC. In addition to learning about the occupations you may qualify for because they are similar to what you did or have been doing in the military, you will need to familiarize yourself with competencies. So what is a competency and why is this so important? A competency is a measurable pattern of knowledge, skills and abilities, behaviors, and other characteristics that an individual needs to perform work roles or occupational functions successfully. Competencies specify the how of performing job tasks or what the person needs to do the job successfully. Competencies are used for assessing selecting candidates for a job, assessing managing employee performance, workforce planning, and employee training and development. Agencies match and compare candidates by utilizing core competencies. You may qualify for many positions, but how do you match up to other candidates you're competing with? Agencies will determine proficiency levels for each competency based on a job analysis of their specific position. Agencies may utilize the full range of assessment options when examining for supervisory competencies. For example, agencies may require applicants to provide written responses to address the competencies, answer a set of online questions in the application process, and undergo a structured interview, or use any other appropriate assessment. The important takeaway is that you will need to provide information on your competency level, and there may be different ways in which you will need to prove this. There is a need for you to know this because this will be applied to your application process. Different agencies utilize different core competencies. So let's take the FBI, for example. Among the FBI core competencies, you will find collaboration, communication, flexibility, adaptability, initiative, leadership, organization and planning, and problem solving and judgment. There are different actions that you take or have taken in the past that can fall under some of these core competencies. You need to start thinking about these core competencies so you can utilize them in some of these, you can utilize them in your accomplishment stories. One discussion board assignment in this module will require you to familiarize yourself with the different hiring paths. Hiring paths target different sections of the population. You may qualify for one or multiple hiring paths. Use the provided link within the module to explore and familiarize yourself with the different hiring paths. This will be important in determining if you qualify to apply to certain positions. You will also need to indicate the hiring paths you qualify for in your USA Jobs profile. Your eligibility may be checked multiple times throughout the application. Another really good exercise to perform on your own is to determine the roles or hats that you have held in your current or past employment. Take a moment to pause and think and write down your roles or hats. Write down 5 different roles you have held on either a piece of paper or open up a Word document and begin. Go ahead, you can pause. Seriously, I'm going to wait. What did you come up with? Those roles or hats you came up with will become the keywords that you're going to utilize on your resume later. Another form of writing that you are going to need to get used to is accomplishment writing. If you have taken the Transition Readiness Seminar, you know one form of accomplishment writing as your STAR statements. These are situation, task, action, and results. Situation means to describe what you were doing, the position or job title you held during that accomplishment. Task means to describe what you were charged with doing. Essentially, some duties, and then what were some of the problems you encountered. Then you determine the action or the actions that you took to alleviate the problem or make things better in your workplace. Then finally, with the results, you let your reader or audience know if you received any rewards or awards for your actions. Did you get any recognition? Did you increase or decrease something? You want to quantify those results. You can also utilize numbers, percentages when describing results. Ensure that these results are specific and measurable. A similar method to the STAR statements is the CCAR method. I've provided you a link to the CCAR method builder on the Resume Place website. One of your assignments in this module is to write an accomplishment utilizing either STAR or the CCAR method. Utilize a Word document and send it to me. The last topic that I am going to cover is how compensation works. In most federal government positions, we are going to look at the GS or General Schedule pay scale. There are different pay tables, but since this is the one that is most commonly used, this is the one that I would provide you as an example. This salary table is similar to your military pay chart. The GS grade will be similar to your ranks, but in the civilian sector, ranks are determined by level of education, amount of experience, and the complexity of the position. The maximum grade level you could reach is what is determined in the announcement. The maximum grade level you could reach for a GS position is a GS 15. There is nothing higher than a GS 15 on the General Schedule based pay scale. Each row in this table represents a different GS level. Next, take a look at the columns. The columns in this pay scale represents the year spent in this position. Same as with your military pay, after a certain period, you get an increase in pay, and these are called steps. So how does this pay table work? Notice that on the pay scale, in order to increase grade levels, you go down the rows. You will first continue to move to the next grade level until you reach the promotion potential for the position. For example, if you applied for a GS 7/11, this means that you can move 2 grade levels every year until you have reached the GS 11. This means that you start out as a 7, but reach an 11 in just 2 years. After you have reached the maximum grade level, you begin to take step increases. So what are these step increases? The step increases, which are the columns on the pay scale, happen every year between steps 2 and 4, every 2 years between steps 5 and 7, and every 3 years between steps 8 through 10. Employees that reach exceptional results in their evaluations may receive 1 quality step increase per year. Another form of compensation is locality pay. You get an increased pay adjustment depending on the location where you're at. This is an example of a locality pay table. Notice that in locations such as Boston, Massachusetts, or Providence, Rhode Island, you can receive a 27.48% pay increase. Granted, these locality pay tables are adjusted each year, but you can find the latest table on the OPM website. Another example of a form of pay table is pay banding. Pay banding tables are usually of wider ranges. Notice on this table that instead of having a GS1, GS2, and so on, you have letters. This TSA pay band starts with the letter A all the way through M. Pay bands depend on the category of employment and specialized experience. It may be easier to negotiate a salary on a pay band versus the general schedule, but of course that depends on how prepared you are for salary negotiations. Another organization that utilizes the pay banding is the MCCS, Marine Corps Community Services. This is going to conclude our Module 1 lesson. Continue to research the provided links in this module. Ensure your assignments are completed by their deadline. These assignments are designed to enhance your experience with this course. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please email me or your current instructor. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, leave me a comment or send me an email. Good luck!